Hello and welcome to lesson 5, which is about market research and doing a company analysis. So in this module, what we're going to do is decide on a company name for your organization if you've not done that before. Fill in all the details in the previous lesson. So we did that. So if you're working in a group as a team, you'll have decided on your management structure and roles within the company, which will be great. And you will have sorted out your individual strengths, and you will have looked at various team models in which to explore. So reminder that where you're in a group of less than 6 people, you'll need to take multiple roles, and that's absolutely fine. So if you're working in a group, decide all of those things, edit the company, and then you're good to go. And also don't forget to write up your reflective journal as we go along from week to week, and remember that you have to include it as an appendix in your summative assessment. So to get the best out of your learning experience, what we're going to do is work round in a structured way to make sure we get everything done, and B, it gives you some structure for learning, which is amazing. So if you remember, last week we set up the company. This week we're doing market research. So quick overview of the market research and company analysis. I'm going to explain to you what a SWOT is, how we can turn that into potential strategic tool using the TOES model. And we're going to have a look at lots of market research reports within the simulation as well. And again, write up your reflective journal. So what each director needs to do is analyse and present their specific functional area and activities for which they are responsible as part of the company-wide data-driven SWOT analysis. Remember that you may have more than one role, and that's absolutely perfect if you do. So what you need to do is use the data to identify specific challenges facing the business, and read through the links below these slides and prepare a full SWOT analysis for your company. And we're doing the growth activity, so this will be at the end of year 3, quarter 4. But if you haven't done business before, you're probably sat there thinking, what's a SWOT analysis? And a SWOT analysis stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And so we do a SWOT analysis as a technique for assessing these 4 aspects of your business. SWOT's a tool that can help you to analyze what your company does best now and to devise a successful strategy for the future. More about that later. SWOT can also uncover areas of the business that are holding you back, or that your competitors could exploit if you don't protect yourself. It also examines both internal and external factors, that is, what's going on inside the organization, the strengths and weaknesses, and what's going on outside your organization, which are the opportunities and threats. So some of these factors will be within your control and some will not. In either case, the wisest action you can take in response will become clearer once you've discovered, recorded, and analysed as many factors as you can. In this lesson, you have video, infographics, and what have you, and we'll explore how to carry out a SWOT analysis and then how to put those findings into action. So what you need to do is do a worked example using a template of your choice to help you get started on the SWOT analysis for your business. Whatever you've decided to call your business, you started off as green spokes. So why is a SWOT analysis important? It's important because it can help you to challenge risky assumptions and uncover dangerous blind spots about your organization's performance. If you use it carefully and collaboratively with your team, it can deliver new insights on where your business currently is and help you to develop exactly the right strategy for any situation. So, for example, you may well be aware of some of your organization's strengths, but until you record them alongside your weaknesses and threats, you might not realize how unreliable those strengths actually are. Equally, you're likely to have reasonable concerns about some of your business weaknesses, but by going through the analysis systematically, you could find an opportunity previously overlooked that could more than compensate. So check out the URL below this slide. It's a Mind Tools URL to help you with the SWOT analysis. There's also an image on this slide from Investopedia. There is also a link underneath this slide, which will again help you to do your SWOT. So what might be useful at this time now is to stop the recording and spend quite a lot of time within your team completing a full SWOT analysis at the end of year 3, quarter 4, so you know exactly where your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats are. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to go into all of these areas, including the company sections in the middle and the history and all the financial data. And from that, come up with your SWOT analysis, which is likely to be quite extensive. For your summative assessment, this SWOT analysis is likely to be quite long, so you could put it in a table in the appendix and then just draw out the main points as we go through. So when we've done our SWOT analysis of the internal and external environmental issues, remembering to do citations everywhere to make sure you get the best marks, you conduct the SWOT on your SimVenture business. And then we're going to extend the SWOT analysis into a TOES matrix. So if you're not sure what one of those is, a TOES matrix can be defined as the tool to analyze, generate, compare, and select the business strategies to attain the overall goals and objectives of the company, such as, for example, higher sales, increased profits, and enhanced brand value, amongst other crucial ones. In the slide notes underneath this slide, which is slide 7, you'll see a link, a URL. You can use any link you want to explore a TOES, but this is up to you and your teams to do your own research in terms of how to turn SWOT into TOES. It's just a different way of looking at it rather than relying on a SWOT only. So TOES is an acronym for threats, opportunities, weaknesses and strength. What it does, it extends the SWOT analysis because TOES examines a company's external opportunities and threats and compares them to the firm's strengths and weaknesses. This analysis forms the basis to develop TOES strategies and to perform actionable tactics. And there is another URL, smallbusiness.com, underneath the slides. I am going to put a caveat on the threats section here and on the opportunities section that within the simulation, it might not always be possible to take account of these external environmental issues, but you can bring them into mind when you're thinking about your future strategies. But the world changes so often on a daily basis that we can't possibly replicate all of those within the simulation at any one time. So an awareness of in preparation for your job in marketing is really key. So in terms of the market research activity on your learning management system, you will have an activity called market research, and what it's going to walk you through is it's going to tell you that your company is a bicycle manufacturing business that's been running for a few years. The company has invested heavily and is developing a strong presence within the road commuting segment. So can you now log into the simulation and navigate to the sales and marketing section and then market research? Here you will find several diverse types of market research reports. Included also are several subsegments into which your competitors sell. For example, road commuting, road racing, road leisure, road fitness, and road touring. The proportion of each segment in the total market is approximately as follows: commuting 23.99%, racing 17.04%, leisure is 29.98%, fitness is 16.99%, and touring is 11.99%. So competitors of green spokes in the road bikes primary segment operate in different subsegments. And you need to be aware of what your market competitors are selling into on a quarterly basis to stay ahead of them. So on the PDF, there's a screenshot on the slide at the moment, which is slide 8. Your task as a group is to find out who are your customers, who are your competitors, what is the feedback from previous focus group research. So for this, you'll need to go into the purple area, sales and marketing, and then go into market research reports, and then the focus group report there. What are the demographics of your companies? Which segment do you currently sell into? What is the current market share for Green Spokes? Now, remember, Green Spokes was what the company was formerly known as. You may well have changed the name, given the previous lessons that we've been going through. So that's your task. You need to complete the tasks outlined in the notes below this slide, or download the PDF, whichever you'd like to do. And so at this point in time, you need to spend quite a lot of time on completing the SWOT analysis, moving that into a TOES matrix, and then doing your market research. At that point in time, you are almost ready to go to the next step, which is to design your strategy going forward. So just as a summary, in this model, we covered a SWOT analysis, a TOES. You need to do some more research on that. We've got an activity called SimVenture Evolution Case Study Market, where you will evaluate and analyse the current market share of your bicycles. This analysis will enable you to make plans for where you want to take your company in the future. In the next lesson, we'll be looking at your product to make sure it fits with what your customers want to buy. This connection between what you sell and what customers want is really, really important. So let's look back on the CBI employability skills that you may have developed today. So you may have developed a positive attitude, readiness to take part, openness to new ideas and activities, and a desire to achieve. You may have developed self-management skills, which is the readiness to accept responsibility, flexibility, time management, readiness to improve your own performance. You may have acquired more knowledge in terms of business and customer awareness, which is a basic understanding of the key drivers for business success and the need to provide customer satisfaction. In this lesson also, you might have done some problem solving. In fact, you probably have, by analysing facts and circumstances and applying creative thinking to develop appropriate solutions. You'll also probably have come across the application of numeracy, where you've looked at the manipulation of numbers, statistics, general mathematical awareness in terms of market share, for example, and its application in practical context within the simulation. You'll also probably have developed your IT skills, including the familiarity with word processing, spreadsheets, file management, and the use of internet search engines, and the use of SimVenture Evolution as a tool for learning. So make sure in your journal that you provide evidence of where you developed one or more of those skills and include them in your assessment at the end of this module, which you'll need to include your journal in the appendix, and then just bring out the core reflections of the one key skill that you've learned the most. That's all for now. Enjoy your SWOT and TOES, and look forward to seeing you in the next session.